Lightning is one of the most common weather phenomena. It's estimated 100 strikes hit the Earth every second. Yeah, it's one of the most misunderstood. I'd like to change that by clearing up some myths and misconceptions about lightning in this week's Moment of Science. 1 Mississippi. 2 Mississippi. We've all done it. Try to figure out how far lightning is by counting the seconds between the strike and the roar of thunder. I've heard different conversions, but the correct one is 5 seconds between light and sound, equaling 1 mile away from lightning. This works out as thunder and lightning go hand in hand. Thunder caused by the rapid expansion and contraction of air as it's superheated by lightning, creating that sound, which travels roughly 1/5 of a mile per second. This speed does vary slightly, but even then, do not use this method to gauge if you are far enough from a storm to be safe from it. In fact, if you hear thunder, you are at risk from being struck by lightning. On that note, what about heat lightning? Heat lightning is not special or a different type of lightning. It's just lightning from a storm that is too far away to hear the associated thunder. Sound decays the further from the source due to clutter like trees as well as the natural curvature of the earth. Thunder really can only be heard at or less than 10 miles away from a lightning strike. At night, when it's much easier to see, more people are outside of that zone. Not true. Lightning often strikes the same spot multiple times, especially if it's the tallest object. Think why we put up lightning rods. It'd be pretty silly if it was single use only. Empire State Building, for example, gets hit roughly 23 times per year. This is a source of contention and some confusion because if you're doing everything right, you won't find yourself in an open field with no shelter nearby in a thunderstorm. Older courses of action would have you become the shortest object by lying on the ground. This is no longer recommended as it increases your chances of injury or death by ground current from a lightning strike, which can spread out over 50 feet from where the lightning strikes the ground. If you are caught in a storm, continue moving to safe shelter. You should know by now it's not safe to get under a tree. It's the second leading cause of lightning fatalities, as it can both attract lightning and explode. Heading inside is the best choice, but be sure to stay away from windows. If a structure is not nearby, a car with a metal roof is the next best choice. This does not include ATVs, convertibles, or golf carts. It's because cars protect you by redistributing the lightning's charge away from the interior down through the metal frame to the ground. It is not because the tires are rubber and act as insulation. On that note, rubber-soled shoes will also not protect you from lightning's effects. There are still enough myths about lightning for a part 2, maybe even 3, which might be covered later on. Until then, be safe outside this summer and follow the instructions highlighted in last week's Moment of Science. I'm Storm Team 2 meteorologist David Dixon.